So today we'll be fitting a carpet to floor trim. So let's take you in to see what we're dealing with. You can see that the tiles finish here. It's quite a big drop and it's got to meet the carpets. So a simple trim, and we'll show you how to fit it. So with the exception of a drill, this is pretty much what you'll need to trim. Screwdriver, we need a tape measure and a saw. We've got a bi-metal blade on the saw here for cutting the aluminium. So if we flip the trim over, you can see that it comes with some screws and some raw plugs and some very basic instructions there as well. So because the trim's larger than the door, we're going to take a small section off here and use that as a template. So we're just going to check how this fits. So if we just place it in, let's use our template here. Dip it in, as it would be. Push it in. We can then, as you can see I've already done there, mark it in for the small cut here. And I've already measured, so it's 1 centimetre in. And then we can take that section off and slide it across. So I'm going to try it out with a template first, in case there's any errors. So here it is positioned on the other side. You can see how it fits, and we can use this template to make sure that the cut's a bit more closer to the wood itself. So once it's tilted, it should level up quite well there. So just measure it. Start the cut going forward. Make sure we don't scratch it. The cut's the right size, and now we can bring our template into play, can't we? So we can use our template to make sure that we get the lines right from before here, and then at the other end make sure that we can use that template again. So you can see we've just done the same with this side as well. You can see how the template goes over the top. It's pretty much marrying it up, and hopefully that should allow it to fit in nicely there. So we're just slowly going to start it off very carefully so we don't scratch anything. Just follow the profile down very slowly. As we get a bit closer, we have to keep it more upright. Make sure we don't go too far across. Making sure that underneath it, exactly the right place. Perfect. And we're just pretty much going to do the same with the other side. Make sure you've got some kind of tissue if you're using a clamp, because it will damage the top. And we're just going to do the other side. Follow that profile around again. So what I'm going to do is provisionally just open these up a little bit here. You see we can manipulate the shape of these things. It's aluminium, there's a lot of play in them, so open it up and then we can slide the carpet in, and then we can press that back down. So because the drop's too big, I've cut some sections of wood and I've marked them across here. So this is my line here. You can see the line that I've marked across. The drop was still too big, so I'm going to put another one on top, and I'm going to screw those into the floor. And then what that will allow us to do is place this in, and then we've got sections here where we can screw that in. You can see those there. So that means that it's now tough, it's not going to move around, and it should be secure. Right, so because there's not enough holes where we want to screw them, we're going to have to create some of our own, so we'll do that now. Just run a quick wire detector over it. There's obviously something underneath, so we'll avoid there. And then we'll just check along, make sure there's nothing else. Because there's potentially something under here at this point here, I'm going to make sure that the screws won't penetrate past the floorboards, so I know roughly how thick they are. Make sure that they won't come out the other end and touch any wires or any pipes. So I'm just going to work our way down and screw these in. Just screw these in all the way along. So need to trim a bit of the carpet off. Believe it or not, I'm going to use some scissors. Does the job. I'm just going to cut a little slither off so it can fit in the trim. Just good to make sure that this bit lies flush underneath, which it seems to fit quite nicely now after we've trimmed it back. You can see it's just going underneath, just touching the lip, And then we're going to try and put all this underneath now and force it onto the grippers. And then all we're going to use is an instrument to force it underneath. So we're just going to force it up and in and back and make sure that it's all onto the grippers there. And then next bit in, let's force it in. And you can see how it's working its way in there. Straight into the grippers. Pass it down. And there we have it, the finished product.